President Tinubu in Lagos to spend Christmas and New Year break.
Federal government reforms deliberate steps towards building stronger, more prosperous Nigeria, says Minister of Information.
2024 budget serve as pivotal steps towards realizing the ambitious and the transformative objectives of the Renewed Hope agenda.
Renewed Hope Initiative disburses money to over 9,000 vulnerable senior citizens across the country.
We not only honor their contributions, but also acknowledge the unique encounters they faced.
And on Good Morning Nigeria today, we shall examine preparation for Christmas, plus a product launch.
Every year, the month of December is characterized by lots of activities. Now, this is in part because of Christmas celebrations. This season also ushers in a new year with increased activities like buying and selling, traveling, outings, and fun fairs. This season is also a time of reunion for some families and stock-taking for others as they prepare for the coming year.
While people may be having fun or even carried away with these activities, it is pertinent to note that the season also comes with its own downsides, which include rising criminal activities, theft, fraud, and armed robbery.
Absolutely, Henry. Although the security agencies are available to tackle these vices, criminals also come up with more sophisticated means of adapting strategies to attack vulnerable people lost in the festivities. Now, this explains why security at Yuletide is a major concern.
Absolutely true, Victor. And for the Federal Road Safety Corps, it's another hectic time of ensuring road traffic crashes are controlled and creates safe motoring environment for Nigerians. The Corps reported a 21.3% reduction in road crashes between January and September 2023.
And for this Yuletide, the FRSC has deployed its entire workforce, including special marshals, to man 53 critical routes nationwide, especially highways, to ensure hitch-free movement as commuters travel from one destination to another. Logistics and operational materials like radar guns to check speed violations are distributed, while 16 traffic control camps on different routes are set up.
In the same vein, the Inspector General of Police has directed the entire police force to increase and intensify anti-crime patrols and in place other crime-fighting strategies to safeguard communities. The IGP also directed adequate deployment of resources and strict supervision of officers to ensure professionalism in the discharge of their duties.
Now, with barely 3 days to Christmas, just 3 days, another major area of concern is the high cost of food items and transportation, which seem to be taking the gleam out of the celebration for many Nigerians. Not to talk of the ongoing cash scarcity, with banks limiting withdrawals, automated teller machines. ATMs also appear to have gone barren.
I like the way you put it. ATM gone barren, rather. And talking about the prices of food items in the market, you don't want to go there. Well, the federal government, made an announcement of 50% discount on luxury buses, transport fares, and free train services on interstate travels during the Yuletide. Will definitely go some way in making the situation lighter. The intervention to cushion the usual high cost of transportation during festivities will run from Thursday, 21st December, that's from yesterday, to January 4th, 2024.
Yeah, and with this announcement, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, has commenced free train services from Thursday, 21st December, that's yesterday, to Thursday, 4th January 2024.
And here's a note of caution. Those who are traveling on this palliative released by the federal government, you must ensure you return to base before the 5th. Else you have to pay the normal price. Well, because it elapses on the 4th.
Well, you have to choose between the enjoyment and the palliative.
All right. On purchase side, traders say they are having low patronage due to the high cost of food items and wares, which, according to them, is caused by inflation. Consumers are of the view that food, which is a major feature throughout the Yuletide, is gradually being priced out of the reach of many households.
As a matter of fact, a market survey on some food items reveal that 50-kilogram bag of locally produced rice, which sold for about 45,000 naira during the third quarter of the year, has risen to about 50,000 naira. The same can be said for livestock such as chicken, turkey, goat, and the list goes on.
Now, why is security at Yuletide important? Why is there rising cost of food items? What can be done to checkmate road accidents during the Yuletide?
Not sure I have the answers. Well, these are issues we will take up with our guests soon enough. I am Victor, thanks for joining us on Good Morning Nigeria. It's the last episode before Christmas.
And that's not all, Victor. We'll also take a look at the second topic, which is, about a product launch. You want to find out what that product is all about. I'm Henry John, and I join Victor to welcome you to Good Morning Nigeria. The complimentary segment of the program will follow shortly with the highlights of the morning news. We have business news. Of course, much later, we'll take a look at what the papers are saying this morning. But for now, let's pause and let the very beautiful Ogochukwuka Ona lead us to the morning news this morning. Merry Christmas in advance, Ogo. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much, Henry and Victor. Compliments of the season. And welcome to the news segment. President Bola Tinubu has arrived to Lagos, where he plans to spend the Christmas and New Year break. The president, who departed Abuja through the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport at 3 p.m. on Thursday, landed at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport and was received by a delegation of federal and state officials. This is the second time the president would visit his home state since assumption of office. He's expected back in Abuja in January 2024. The Senate is accelerating the process for the passage of the 21.8 trillion naira 2023 Appropriation Act Amendment Bill by taking the first, second, and third readings. Similar consideration was extended to the 2.176 trillion naira 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Act Amendment Bill.
In view of the critical importance of some key projects nearing completion, it is expedient to grant extension of the expiration clause to avoid compounding the problems of abandoned projects.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has also passed 2 bills to amend the Appropriations Act 2023 and Supplementary Appropriations Act 2023 and extend their implementation from December 31st, 2023 to March 31st, 2024.
Implementation year from 31st December 2023 to March 31st, 2024, read and pass.
Now, some exciting news for Nigeria's oil and gas sector as Minister of State, Petroleum Resources Oil, Henike Lokubiri, and his colleague, Minister of State, Petroleum Resources Gas, Ekperipe Ekpu, are both optimistic about the resumption of operations at Nigeria's biggest owned refinery in Port Harcourt. This follows the mechanical completion and flare start-off at the Port Harcourt refinery, sparking renewed hope that production may likely commence after Christmas.
Completion of not just this Port Harcourt refinery, phase 1 and 2, but the one for Warri and then the one in Kaduna.
We are done with the phase 1. We will complete the phase 2 as we promised within 2024, maximum the last quarter of 2024.
Now, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is canvassing support for the federal government, explaining that reforms initiated by President Tinubu across the various sectors are sowing the seeds of transformative change in Nigeria. This was at the end of the year 2023 World Press Conference held in Abuja.
The 2024 budget of 27.5 trillion, the administration's first full-year budget, presented to the National Assembly by the President, both echoed the core tenets of the renewed hope agenda and serve as pivotal steps towards realizing the ambitious and the transformative objectives of the renewed hope agenda.
Now, another cherry news here. What otherwise may have been a bleak festive season for vulnerable senior citizens in the country may as well have turned into a bumper Christmas and New Year celebration for them, as Nigeria's First Lady Oluremu Tinubu flags off the elderly support scheme of a pet project, Renewed Hope Initiative. Flagging off the scheme at the Armed Forces Officers' Mess in Abuja, the First Lady says the welfare of the aged is a key area of priority for the Tinubu administration. Under the intervention, a total of 9,500 beneficiaries received a sum of 100,000 naira each.
Festive period, we not only honor their contributions, but also acknowledge the unique encounters they faced. I urge you to embrace life to the fullest.
And as the news for now, the program continues with Victor and Henry after this break.
Bright Nigerians to save transportation costs during the Yuletide as Nigerian Railway Corporation commences free train service. These and more on Business News with Tokpe Alabi.
In a bid to ensure smooth and seamless Yuletide for Nigerians, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed a 50% reduction in road transportation and free train services during the Christmas and New Year celebrations. This is to avoid the burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate transportation amidst the country's prevailing economic challenges. And in line with the President's directive, the Nigerian Railway Corporation, NRC, has announced the commencement of the free train service on its entire passengers services from Thursday 21st December 2023 to Thursday 4th January 2024.
I appreciate it. As I see the now the federal government did something to alleviate the less downtrodden people.
Managing Director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidet Ohiria, has advised passengers to obtain their free tickets via the online e-ticketing platforms only, as tickets will not be issued at any of the corporation's train stations.
It's a festive mood and a festival, and we know people always want to travel at the end of the year. So we've planned this, and the rail is free for 15 days, and they have also made provision for us to be able to achieve that. So because people were wondering how we're going to meet it when we say we are struggling to get diesel. They are providing diesel for us to run for the 15 days, and we ensure as play our role to ensure we support, not for the benefit of the government, but for the people, deliver to the people that we still keep to our time. We don't say because we are running free, it should delay the train.
In the meantime, the federal government is setting up a committee to review the current tax waivers granted to individuals and organizations across the country. This is as a result of government's need for additional revenue to support development projects aimed at improving the lives of Nigerians. The decision to thoroughly examine the issue of waivers is deemed essential in the nation's best interests.
Within a short period of time, the country have lost close to 5.6 trillion naira in waivers and tax incentives. If we really want to talk about industrialization, or depending on what Nigeria can produce, we must get it right in our backward integration policy. We must do away with waivers.
The Nigeria Customs Service had earlier reported that Nigeria lost about 1.3 trillion naira due to waivers and concessions granted. The current administration has plans to increase the country's tax to 18% of GDP in the next 3 years. And in July, the president appointed Taiwo Oyedele as the chair of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms to amend the nation's tax laws for efficiency. With business news, Tokbe Alabi.
Many thanks, Tokwe, for the business package. Up next is newspaper review.
Right, Chukwudi Okoli Obaja, welcome to the newspaper review.
Victor Azu, I'm happy to be here. Yeri, how are you doing?
Very well, Chukwudi, good to see
Chukwudi
you.
Okoli Obaja. He forgot Chooks the boy, so I have to punish him too. You know, by giving him his full label. How are you, ladies and gentlemen?
Very well, thank you.
Good to be here.
Well, I have the Nigerian pilot. A few interesting stories here. It appears on page 9, Senate confirms Tinubu's 11 Supreme Court justices. Senate confirms Tinubu's 11 Supreme Court justices. There's been that vacuum for quite a while. Then the big one, Port Harcourt refinery finally begins operations. With the riders, FG confirms commencement of operations at Port Harcourt refinery decades after. Says refinery commenced operations on December 20, 2023. That refined petroleum products would start flowing after Christmas, New Year celebrations. And the last rider, we've fulfilled our pledge to complete phase 1 of Port Harcourt refinery by end of 2023. That's credited to Heineken Lukbobiri, who is Minister of State for Petroleum. And just one after that I would want us to look at. Governor Fubara vows to protect, defend Rivers people.
All right, many thanks, Victor. Just wondering why the pilot decided to use red ink for Port Harcourt refinery finally begins operations. Okay, beautiful. Let's look at the Daily Trust now. The lead story is on the front page of the Daily Trust. We have here low turnout, lack of cash, federal government's 50% discount for travelers. The riders, 5 million commuters targeted for support, and that's credited to the Information Minister. 5 companies approved for logistics. Racketeering returns to Rigasa train station. Away from that, just below the masthead, we have Port Harcourt refinery. Of course, that's on every newspaper this morning. Begins operation, but this one here says after Christmas, and that is credited to the minister. Away from that, we have 88% of Nigerians self-employed, and that's according to NBS. NNPP supporters resort to prayers as Supreme Court reserves judgment. Page 12 has all the details. And just away from that, we have a picture story here of passengers at Jabi Milton Park in Abuja, of course, trying to make their way to their different destinations for the festive period. Beside that picture story, we have man accuses in-laws of spending lost and found hard currency. PDP calls for a Shomale's investigation over vote buying. Details on page 12. And then we have Senate confirms 11 Supreme Court justices. Finally, from the Daily Trust this morning, we have CBN investigator uncovers 593 foreign accounts opened by Emefiele. The riders, over 545 million euros in UK pounds. 543 million pounds in UK fixed deposits, more in USA and China. Additional infractions discovered in Nigeria. Details on page 5 of the Daily Trust. Quickly moving now to the Leadership newspaper this morning. We have the lead story here which says Obaze reports may worsen Emefiele's woes. Riders alleges former CBN governor operated 593 foreign accounts without authorization, manipulated exchange rate. Says 17.4 trillion naira ways and means unaccounted for. Of course, so many other riders there. You want to pick up a copy of The Leadership and read up the story on page 4. Beside the masthead, we have Tinubu arrives Lagos for Christmas. Page 17 has the details. Above that, we have FCT blames water scarcity on climate change. And yes, we also have right here on the front page of The Leadership the trending story as regards the Supreme Court reserving judgment in Kanu appeal. Details on page 8. All right. Well, let's just take this last one here in the blue strip at the bottom of the front page of Leadership. Catholic bishops reject blessings for same-sex marriage. Page 6 has all the details. Chukudi.
You know, I saw a clip where the Pope, the Catholic Pontiff, was talking about the mischief that journalists could foist on the people concerning what he said. He didn't say that same-sex marriage would be blessed. He's saying that even though those people are in same-sex marriage, they deserve to be blessed as children of God. He's not saying that the Catholic Church has now, approved same-sex marriage. He really came out with them, 3 categorizations yesterday that was really an uppercut, on journalists. Anyway, I'm sure that matter will be laid to rest soon. Quickly, 3 things. I have just 4 minutes, as it were. 88% of Nigerians self-employed. That's from the National Bureau of Statistics. And I say that's good. But also, quickly, I want to add that many of these people have decided to do what they could find, not finding what they wanted to do, They were forced into employing self. But at the end of the day, that is actually the way to go. Self-employment is everything. The first 2 years, 3 years, it has gone beyond 18 months now. You now need to do up to 2-3 years before you begin to, given the inclement weather, economically. They might be rough, but at the end of the day, you're happy to be self-employed. So let's encourage that.
And it's more beneficial to the economy because apart from the satisfaction, the fulfillment that comes from having what you do, your time to yourselves, you manage your own business and everything, you can take people off the unemployment market.
That is the point. When you mention NNPC, MTN, the GSM telephonies, people will tell you, fine, those are companies that employ people. But the percentage of the people they employ is quite minimal compared to what MSMEs can actually take in. That roadside mechanic, if properly empowered, can take in 3 people to support him in repairing vehicles and all
Absolutely.
that. The vulcanizer.
And it's a good one that Smithon has been repositioned, to support MSMEs. Just some days ago, their headquarters complex was opened in Abuja here. And I hear that, so many reforms and policies are coming out just so that MSMEs can survive in this country. And it's also important for government to, put the basics in place, like, say, electricity, roads, and all of that, just so that these MSMEs can, maximize profits.
For sure.
Because, the complaint or the strangulation for MSMEs is the fact that, they do not have the basic, requirements to operate.
And that complaint is real.
Yeah,
it is real.
Business environment.
Yes. Quickly, 2 more things, because once I see things that affect the people, I'm very happy. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Heineken Lokbobri, has announced the completion of Phase 1 rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery in Rivers State, signaling the commencement of petroleum refining. And I say, Victor, no offense meant. That man deserves a big bottle of Gulda.
Heineken. And Heineken.
Heineken as well.
He's already Heineken.
That is good news. May his clan continue to see goodness. We could say he's doing his job. But you see, when you stay out there in the sun for too long, a little shade is like being beckoned to a slice of heaven. You understand? I think it is very good. And quickly, not just that the Port Harcourt refinery will start production after Christmas.
But then the people,
yes,
until the people see the impact of that in the cost of PMS.
Don't be skeptical. We'll get there.
Nobody will talk about
Dangote refinery receives second 1 million barrels of crude. We are having double blessings. That is now the time to get to where you got to. How is this all going to rub off on the price that is paid for a liter of petrol at the end of the day? Very important. We are waiting.
That's the big one. Until that happens, you see.
They have invited our curiosity with the acts of goodness, even though it's their job.
And for the Port Harcourt refinery, away from what the prices of petrol and maybe diesel will be, because of course that's affecting a lot of things. Diesel really. People also think that things should be put in place just so that it is properly managed and maintained, so that there's no breakdown in the future. Not like having a situation whereby it works for like 1 year, because we know maintenance is the main thing in this country. So not like having it work for 1 year or 2 years and then you begin to hear stories again.
Yeah. Quickly, the last one. Yesterday, you and I joked about it, that even though the president says 100% free train ride, 50% rebate on bus rides and all that. We said, how many people really want to stick out their neck and go to the village, in these harsh times? They are saying that there's low turnout. Imagine, with all it's running for 15 days. That means that they take you there, they can bring you back as well. Yet people are not very, very, interested
because there's low turnout in the pockets. I think it's time to go. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
All right, so we'll take a break. Stay with us.
Right, we are still on to Good Morning Nigeria for this Friday. As a prompt for our conversation segment, we're just on the preparation for Christmas. Let's take this background report put together by our correspondent Oyeyemi Ajayi.
Just few days to Christmas, and so far, everyone is already in the mood. Shoppings, environmental decorations, travelings, amongst others. As the people are preparing to have a fun-filled Yuletide, organizations, agencies, and even governments are also bracing towards ensuring a memorable celebration. And that explains why the federal government announced the transportation palliatives nationwide in form of 50% reduction of luxury buses transport fare and free train services on interstate travels during the Yuletide between 21st December 2023 to January 4th, 2024. The intervention is to cushion the usual high cost of transportation during the festivities. The Federal Road Safety Corps has deployed the entire workforce, adequate operational tools, which includes the radar guns, body cameras and others, while assuring motorists of hitch-free vehicular movement nationwide, setting out 16 traffic control camps on different routes, as well as manned 53 critical routes across the country. Commanding officers have been directed to ensure 24 hours observation along the high-volume traffic or gridlock-prone areas, full mobilization of 26 help areas, adequate utilization of 59 emergency ambulance points, full mobilization of roadside clinics. On his part, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has as well directed the deployment of officers to strategic locations across the country ahead of Yuletide. With all these measures, can it be said that celebration during Yuletide is well secured? And what's more should be done to have a memorable celebration? These are some questions guests will be answering shortly.
And to discuss the topic, preparation for Christmas, let me introduce our guests right here in the studio. First, we have Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the First Public Relations Officer. Glad to have you on Good Morning Nigeria.
Good morning Nigeria, good morning Africa.
All right, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Olumuyiwa Adejobi there. And of course, we also have with us this morning the Sector Commander, FRSC, FCT Command, Mutar Chori Isa.
Good morning, Nigerians.
Glad to have you.
Right, and still joining us here is Suleiman Abdul Kadri Musa. He's acting General Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, National Headquarters here in Abuja. Nice to have you on the program.
Yeah, good morning, Nigerian.
All right, let's begin. It's definitely a time characterized by lots of activities. Would you say that security agencies are overwhelmed? Let me address that to the first PRO.
Security agencies overwhelmed? No, I don't think so. Security agencies are not overwhelmed. The only thing is where you have 2 or more persons, you're bound to have social vices, you're bound to have crimes committed. And as a normal thing in sociology, a student of sociology will know that we have anomaly theory, which means we are bound to have deviants in every society. The moment you have deviants, we tend to have certain incidences, we tend to have certain crimes being committed by these criminally minded individuals. Security agencies in Nigeria are not overwhelmed. Coupled with the fact that, it's a very difficult thing to secure, to police democracy. It's not that very easy. More so that we are just coming up in our democratic setting in this country. But I know, and I'm sure we are growing gradually. And again, a pluralistic nation like Nigeria is not very easy to police. Talk of all parameters, talk of all variables. Nigeria is big. Demographic nature of Nigeria is big. The geographical spread of Nigeria is big. Talk of ethnic groups, languages, and what have you. So most of these things are variables you need to consider when you want to analyze security situation in the country. But we are not overwhelmed. But we need to take note of all of these variables and parameters are put forward.
To that question, you're not overwhelmed, and you actually said that like 5 times. It's easy to say, with words, but looking at what's happening in the country, and then the increase.
How do you assess security? You don't assess security by speculations or psychological projections.
Not speculations.
You assess security based on empirical facts you have. We keep records. You don't keep records. We keep records, and by the records we have, I can say that the security agencies in Nigeria, we have done well, based on empirical facts and figures.
Well, talking about doing well and looking at empirical facts and figures, we also have facts here that, the case of kidnapping has increased across the country. For the FCT, for example, let's just be specific now with the FCT, and then, of course, looking at the kidnappings in other parts of the country. For the FCT, the cases of one chance, for example, has actually increased, beyond what we have seen in this part of the country.
It's not the same thing as kidnapping.
I agree. I'm using one chance as an example for the FCT. For kidnappings,
that's another concept entirely, and it's a dimension to another crime.
ACP.
Yes.
For kidnappings across the country, I said for the FCT, I'm trying to narrow it down to the FCT and what we can see, what I can feel, what people around me are experiencing. There's increase in the rate of one chance at the moment. In the FCT. The issue of armed robbery if you check all these, the suburbs, not like the central area, if you check all these, parts that are, very close to Abuja, of course, the rate of armed robbery has also increased this period. So if you say you're not overwhelmed, and then of course on my way to say my house or coming to work at night, there's usually so many road checks. But despite that, the one chance issue is still on that axis. So if you're not overwhelmed, what is going on? Why do we still have increase in these crimes, and especially this period?
Well, in as much as I don't want us to localize our discussion here, I speak for Nigeria police. I'm not speaking for the FCT command. We have 37 commands in Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory. And based on the fact I have, we cannot single out this isolated situation, isolated location of the Federal Capital Territory to judge the security situation in the country. Like I said, you want to analyze the security situation in the country, there are so many variables you need to put into consideration. There are so many parameters you need to put into consideration. So the Federal Capital Territory case, as a case study now, you're saying,
yes,
it is not a generalized situation in Nigeria. Despite that, I can tell you for good that the FCT command, the FCT has a task force, comprises the police, military, civil defense, road safety, all of them are there in that task force. And they move on regular. I can say with the fact I have, the rate and they arrest not less than 50, 60, 70, 90 suspects on a daily basis. As I speak with you, this year 2023, in retrospect, we have rescued more than 3,170 something kidnap victims and arrested 2,973 kidnap suspects across the country. So FCT case, let me clarify this. There's a difference between one chance and kidnapping. One chance is a new dimension into criminal situation in the country. And in most cases, we tend to talk to our passengers and Nigerians not to patronize roadside bus stops. FCT as a Federal Capital Territory Administration has registered some parks and garages. There are some vehicles that are numbered, they are marked. You know, these vehicles are basically for this business. But now you see people, because they want to rush to somewhere, you don't care. It's the same thing is happening in Lagos. I think it's the one in Lagos that they have brought to Federal Capital Territory. It has been on in Lagos. It's not a new thing in Lagos. So this issue of one chance is what we, individuals, Nigerians, we need to work on more than even security agencies. It's just like a silent robbery. The silent robbery is happening there. Even policemen at the point close to that place we not even know because it's called silent robbery. So it's a silent operation, and our people need to know that if at all I want to board a vehicle from one point to another, I need to patronize marked, registered commercial vehicles, or I go to registered parks and garages. I'm sure the FCTA has rolled out registered parks and garages in the Federal Capital Territory, but our people, in most cases, we take things for granted. No. And that is why we have an issue of one chance. It's like a case of silent robbery that even if security agencies are around, they will not know it's one chance. So it is you that must be very careful. When you say a vehicle, that you have a lady, you have more than 5, 6 men in a vehicle, but you are in a rush to get to where you are going to. Assess the occupant of that vehicle before you go into that vehicle. In most cases, it even goes beyond the issue of one chance. They may take you away, transfer money, they still molest you. So most times it affects the ladies more than the men, based on the stories I have and the cases we have recorded so far. So what we need to do is just to be very careful of those we patronize when it comes to the issue of movement, commercial vehicles, even the motorcycles or the bikes and what have you. The onus is on us as individuals who want to board or patronize these vehicles to know who and who to relate with when it comes to a shop. Now,
thank you very much, ACP. Now, when I asked that question, I asked because I know that the police will always say, look, man to man, we are short-staffed. This is always there, that you don't have the numbers that you need to police the country. Now, when it comes to a season like this, criminal activities increase. A lot of activities are there, so your work even becomes more. That's why I asked if you were overwhelmed. But it's good to hear that, well, you are ready for the season. But let me come to the FRSC. How prepared are you for the season?
Well, thank you so very much. It's a privilege to be here. FRSC is prepared, both at the national level and at the level of the state. That's the FCT now, and we're talking about. If you've been following the news, you know that we've been given marching order. The Corps Marshal has given marching order to all commands across the Federation to bring out all their arsenals, whether they be ambulances, whether they be tow trucks, whether they be patrol vehicles, men, and of course, in addition to that, we also have special marshals. So we have that privilege of having members of the public come to join so that they can also give services in the area of traffic management in Nigeria. In the FCT, for instance, I can tell you that we are very, very ready. If you are on news yesterday, we were at Bari Road. You know, it's now a new route to the northwest. And so we really have to man that road properly. And then the Corps Marshal himself was at Zuba the other day, you know, trying to ensure that he sensitizes the Nigerian motoring public on the proper use of the highways, especially during this Yuletide season. We commenced this public enlightenment activities since September, the Ember months. I've been here before, you know, on the Ember Month campaign. We've been to other media houses. Almost every Sunday now, I visit two churches, just to ensure that we capture as many people as possible to be able to sensitize them. You know, when people own road safety, that's when we have safer motoring environment. Because we cannot be with the passengers or drivers at all times. So it's good that we instill this discipline in Nigerians, so that together we can be able to make our roads safer, especially this Yuletide season. Well, in the FCT, like I was about to say, we have deployed about 1,907 regular marshals, 833 special marshals. We've also deployed about 3 tow trucks stationed strategically. You know, one is centrally located in case there are going to be any traffic infractions anywhere or maybe blockages, and then we'll move it away quickly. And then we also have been able to establish 13 zebra points around the commercial city and then also along those major corridors out of Abuja. Today, I just finished briefing the men before I came, you know, to say we have some, for the commands within the city center, they should be on standby in case we have challenges, you know, along corridors that move out of Abuja, because I know the mass movement today and tomorrow. So we are fully ready, and we'll continue to go on this campaign continuously, even while we ensure that our men are also on ground.
All right, fully ready, Sector Commander. Beautiful, and you know, we must commend you for, you know, trying to move around to sensitize the people and so they can be cautious, because like you have said, road safety is everybody's business, also for the militarists on the road. But I want to find out, so what is the Corps doing about you know, retraining of personnel? The reason I'm asking is because we have seen in past times how road safety officials you know, if you like, manhandle militarists on the road in a bid to check one thing or the other in their vehicles. You know, they recklessly try to you know, stop them on the road and all of that, and resulting in accidents. So is the Corps doing something about retraining of its personnel just so that they do the right thing on the road and also save lives?
Well, thank you so very much. I know that it's a very serious worry for us at the FRSC, that sometimes, despite all of the trainings they have received, because there's no personnel that will just put on the road without receiving at least the basic training. Just recently, some personnel, passed out from the camp. Before we engage anybody on the highways, they must have received the basic training, you know, including the special marshals. We also do basic trainings for them before we engage them. But that we have issues around people trying to enforce, and then sometimes you have that doesn't mean that that is the policy of the system, or that, you know, in every system we have bad eggs, and that we have bad eggs and that the system is not tolerating them. You know, I tell you regrettably too that I was privileged to be on panels, you know, concerning patrol teams that misbehaved, you know, sometime late last year. And because of the facts on the ground, painfully we had to recommend to management that such staff be terminated. It's difficult to get jobs these days, but we had to, because there's nobody that's greater than a system. You know, the word enforcement in itself is negative to sensibilities. And so when it comes to issues of enforcement generally, people don't like it, but it's good for systems. And so that the FRSC, you know, experiences those challenges is everywhere. So it's not restricted to road safety. You know, even in your job, I'm sure we have, what, maybe, is it quack journalists, we say? Or that in the legal profession we have charge and bail lawyers. Are we going to say the legal profession is bad, or that your job is bad? No. So for every system we have bad eggs. But that is the system doing something about it? Yes, they are. And every other time, and regrettably too, we have to, because the system is above every individual.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sector Commander. So we get to the NURTW representative now, Suleiman Abdulkadir Musa. You are the Acting General Secretary of the Union. Yes. It's a pleasure to have you. I think my first question to you will be this 50% discount that the federal government is giving to travelers this period. The NURTW, first and foremost, how did you receive that announcement? Because I remember seeing some reports about the NURTW, you know, asking about the workability. So has all that been fixed now? And then how can Nigerians benefit from what the federal government is doing as regards the palliative for travelers?
Well, we received the announcement with high appreciation, because it will help our business. The numbers of the travelers will increase. Coming to the implementation of the palliative, there is a little challenges there, because during the meeting with the federal government, a lot of ideas was brought. But at the end, the federal government said that all the intended traveler, they have to apply through an apps and generate a code, which they go to the park. After verifying the code, then they paid 50% of the fare. Well, it's very impressive, but looking at the level of the understanding of most of our Nigerians, and even the phone itself, how many people have an Android phone that can be able to apply and generate that code? That is the areas we're having challenges. But in fact, we are very appreciative, and we want
outside that, does it cover all routes? So if I'm
all
going
interstate, long journey, interstate long journey.
Now, your concerns are valid, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people who probably use the roads don't know what it means to generate a code and all of that.
Yeah.
But this has been in operation since yesterday, right?
Yes.
What is the state of the parks with regards to this policy?
Well, the state of the park is normal, and those who are into it, they know how to do it, are benefiting from
I expected you to say abnormal, because it shouldn't be normal. You said it will increase the number of people who get to the parks.
What I mean by normal is those who have the ability to generate the code. And, well, it's abnormal too, since all the traveler cannot be able to benefit at once. That is why during the meeting, we said that to be able to make this palliative to be beneficial to all the travelers, we have manifest.
Okay.
In that manifest, all the traveling public, they put their names, their telephone number, next of kin, telephone number, and so on and so forth. So if we can use that one, the moment you fill the manifest, you pay 50%.
Okay.
And we use that manifest to at least submit to the federal government.
So that you can get the 50%
exactly.
that they're supposed to give.
Yes. But I don't know why there is disagreement over that. So, but still, this is like a starting point. Maybe with the experience, next time things will change.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, SCP, I'll come back to you. Of course, security is our business and is your primary business, you know, as a force person. But, you know, I want to look at the security situation now from the angle of the personnel of the force. You know, you've already mentioned in your earlier response to my question that the people have a role to play. You know, especially with this one chance thing that is becoming very worrisome. I must tell you, for residents of Abuja, and of course I'm so sure other parts of the country. But looking at the personnel now, the FRSC official talked about the fact that, well, there are bad eggs everywhere. But for the police, I do not know whether there are a few or if, there are so much. I talked about the fact that you get to see police checkpoints, on the road. Truthfully, you see the men there. But another challenge with how their work is being done will be the fact that till date, and I'm sure till tonight, you will still see police officers, collecting bribe from, those who are, all of that. Does it help in checking, crime? I'm asking because, if you're to do your job and then somebody is tipping you, so would you be able to, check properly just so that those who are in the vehicle or those who are passing by are actually not having criminal intent?
Tip is different from bribe. Tip is legal.
What's the difference?
It's difference. If you go to anywhere, you do something for somebody, you have done me nice, I can just give you something. It's tip, not bribe.
Okay.
You bribe to get gratification. You give gratification to get a favor, officially or personal ground or whatever. But most cases are officially. And to the men on the field, you agree with me that I've not seen any senior man that will muster his men in the morning, put them on parade in the morning. That guys, go out there and get me 1 million naira before 5 p.m. It is not so. You muster them for them to go out and discharge their duties as expected. Every policeman, every security agent who has passed out the four corners of the training school should know the ethics and code of conduct, apart from the extant laws of the land. So you know that it's on police, it's unprofessional, it's criminal, it's inhumane for you to go on the road and be telling somebody to drop something before it will pass or before something is done. Two ways. It gives bad image to the force, bad image to the country, our own their country, and of course it kills our ability to curb crimes. Because in the simple elementary training they will give to you, that when you are at a point, be careful and be aware of somebody who is unduly friendly. So when somebody gets my point and is greeting me, hailing me, oh, Muiwa, Muyenko, officer, how are you doing? How are you doing? That's the person I should even pack. Because the law is in beat duty. The law is beware of somebody who is unduly friendly. And beware of somebody who is unduly unfriendly. So when you get to a point that somebody is frowning at you, hello, how are you? He's not even looking at your side. He's not winding down the glass, he's not doing anything. Pack the person. But by the time you have taken the issue of money to be the first thing, you are going to lose your track. You are going to lose the focus. And that's why you see, for a very long time in the police, I can say it, it's not common. I know other agencies do, but it's not common the way we do it in the police. We show to the whole world. This man has been arrested for social offense. He has been taken through the trials, and now he has been dismissed. Just yesterday we dismissed some of them in Ibadan. The police, those you have seen as policemen who actually attacked or demanded bribe from that Dutch rider, that woman, they are not police officers. But because the black is very body and we have many of them, fine, we take responsibility because we are godfather or we are grandfather of many people. They are, for goodness sake, they are constabularies. Constabularies employed by the state government, given to us to train, and sent back to them to go and work for them. But they are going to wear that black uniform. But people always forget that always check this badge. This badge gives you the information about the person. Your sleeve badge, this badge will tell you, if you see the badge on them, you see it's written constabulary, police constabulary, PC, police constabulary. So but now the general thing, then was that police don't come again. See the video that went viral. Police have come again. Nigerian police are treated again. But no, just yesterday those guys were arrested and they were dismissed. They were paraded. Mixed feelings again. People will tell you, why are you dismissing them? Like the sector commander said, it's not easy to get a job. But when you get a job, do the right thing so that you don't lose the job. There's nothing says that you can't lose your job when you do what you should not do. When you go out of your bands as a responsible officer, a police officer is like an angel to you. A road safety officer is like an angel who you should run to for safety, to have succor. But when you now become hostile, the institution that is responsible should send you out of that institution because you are not doing what you should do. Don't cause pain, sorrow, agonies to people that you have to serve. So the issue of bribery is not part of us, it's not part of police duty, it's not part of our system. But everywhere you go to, even in the Nigerian system, it is, can you give me this? I always tell them, if I come to you for your services, I have to give me receipt of payment. If I need to pay for whatever service you have rendered to me, give me receipt. So ask that policeman, can you issue a receipt to me because I need to tell my husband at home that this is how I spend money today. I met police in Akure, I met police in Kafanchan, and they demanded for 1,000 naira, and I gave them 1,000 naira, and this is the receipt. If that policeman cannot issue a receipt for any payment, don't pay. The only thing you can do is they got to delay you, fine. Take your time with the sacrifice you're going to make as a Nigerian. Wait for them. There's no, in fact, when they stop you at your point, you delay them for like 20, 30 minutes, they will become uncomfortable for you even staying at that point. But because we are always in a rush, what are we rushing to? A policeman is demanding for money from me, and I'm quick to giving out money. I even offer to transfer. Why? Then you have transferred, you have paid. You are now calling an office that is also policemen. Why did you call the office before you made a payment? All numbers are there for you to call. I always tell Nigerians, let us always be patient. Don't encourage impunity. By the time you are giving them money, they will see it as a lucrative business. And the thing will continue to trend. They will do it in impunity. It is not part of us. It embarrasses the nation. Everywhere you go to Nigeria is bribery.
But this issue of constabulary, I must tell you that some Nigerians are hearing that for the very first time. That, you know, that those who are trained...
policemen.
Yes, that they are not policemen.
I made a statement about it. We have been making statement about it. But I decided to re-echo it yesterday for them to know they are not police. Everybody you see on the road putting on black is not police. Well, we need to clarify that. Is he a policeman? And unfortunately, some media houses, we publish police. Without even finding out from us that are they actually police personnel. They are not. It's not in all cases. It's not everybody you see on camera that will say is a soldier. That's the problem we have in Nigeria when you do your reporting. Let us clarify from us. People impersonate.
Okay.
People buy materials and go and sold. We have arrested fake soldiers. We have arrested fake police. We have arrested fake road safety officers. So let us always verify from the agency that is concerned that are this your personnel? Are this your personnel? What we do in security business, if you arrested, we have arrested some students somewhere. They belong to maybe University of Ibadan. That's my home. Let me use my alma mater. Maybe they are students of University of Ibadan. The first thing we need to do is to write to the UI authority to confirm that these are your students. You can't just go out and publish that UI students arrested for rape, UI students arrested for armed robbery. No, you need to find out. Let the school confirm. Are they my students? Yes. They are bona fide students of University of Ibadan. Then you can now say UI student arrested. So you have arrested somebody on black over black. Or somebody on NYSC khaki and Christian t-shirt, and you say NYSC or coppers arrested for armed robbery. You need to clarify. Let that agency confirm that these are my children, these are my staff, my personnel. Then you can now say they are police officers. So those people arrested in New York that actually embarrassed the nation, that they don't know Netherlands, they don't know what is Netherlands, they don't know anything. They cannot even read the Google the woman was using to navigate. They said, what is this? It's so embarrassing. But behold, they are not. And the officer in charge of that place, they are always posted to DPOs to help DPOs. So the officer in charge of that place too has been queried, because before you send out your men every morning, you must do muster. Muster will tell them, my guys, we are going out. This gentleman, this is what you should do. This is what you should not do. It's a tradition in the police, and I'm sure in other security agencies, you must muster your men every morning before you send them out. So that's why we go back to vicarious liability. You can't tell me as a DPO, area commander, or a HOD of a unit that you don't talk to your men. And if your men have heard they have misbehaved, they will give you query because they still believe it's lack of supervision. Like what the IGP said. Don't come to me and give me gift. IGP said it to all commissioners of police and AIGs. You don't come to headquarters and say, sir, like this time now, Oga, sir, this envelope for you. Or Oga, this every month. I need to go and see my IGP. He said it openly. And I made a statement to that effect. Don't come to my office to give me anything. I don't need anything from you. And I don't expect to go to the men on the field that IGs, we have to go and see the IGO. We are going and doing this. We have noticed in some cases that these DPOs and some officers give target to these men. And these officers have been queried, they have been sanctioned. That's why you see that the present Chairman Service Commission is helping the IGP to make sure that we have Force Disciplinary Committee meetings regularly to send names of those who have misbehaved, senior officers, because the punishment, the process is stage by stage. The rank and file can go for the room trial, that's the inspector downward, but once you have one PIP, as an officer, ASP, and above, a service commission. So we always recommend them to service commission, and they sanction them. You know, I said to the chairman service commission is a no-nonsense man. So you can't trample on people's fundamental human rights. You can't continue to mess up the whole system as if Nigeria is a bad system and don't give us wrong impression, or give the whole world wrong impression that the system is rotten in Nigeria. No. We have a functional system in Nigeria. Nigeria still works, I tell people. If you don't want to key into our system, you get out of that system. So I don't want us to always have general impression that the bribery of what you see is part of our system. It's not part of us. It's even strange to our African in us. In African continent, we don't do it. The esprit de corps is a concept in Africa. So the Africanism in us, the esprit de corps in us must be brought forward for people to see that we are normal human beings in Africa. So people should not see us because we are black. And we think black, we do black, or we act black. No.
And you wear black uniform.
Thank you, ACP Adejobi. Thank you very much, sir, for that clarification. Now let me get back to Mutai, how critical is synergy of all security agencies when it comes to the Yuletide like this because of heightened activities and also criminal activities?
Very good. That's an area I would have loved you to ask me questions about. In the FCT, I can tell you clearly, we have a security committee. In fact, there's a WhatsApp group that whatever happens, you get to see it on that WhatsApp group. We have always been in touch with the CP, for instance. We speak almost on a daily basis. Is it with the civil defense personnel? Is it with the even immigrations and customs? We have a committee in the FCT. In fact, we normally meet every month, you know, to sit down together, to get to, you know, share experiences and all of that. That camaraderie is here in the FCT. And I can assure you, like the first PPRO have just said, we have a standing committee, you know, show of force in the FCT. Today, they are out. And every other day, we also send teams. And all other security agencies also send teams to join that team. Just not long ago, you can remember clearly, there was this operation Sweep FCT, you know, that was instituted. And that activity has been ongoing. And I can remember very clearly, a lot of people were arrested, including those vehicles that go to do one chance and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of synergy between us in the FCT. If you talk about other states, I don't have jurisdiction to talk about other states, but I can tell you, you know, categorically in FCT, we are together in this. So touch any one of us, you know that you have touched a member of the team.
All right, touching a member of the team, what are you doing to touch, you know, owners of vehicles that are not roadworthy? We know that this is the period where you see all kinds of vehicles on the road.
Thank you so much.
And again, overloading is a thing this season. What is the FRC doing?
I thought you were not going to ask me about this overloading matter. You know, it has been a serious matter to us. Just yesterday, I speak with passion when it comes to issues of overloading, especially in the FCT. People carrying 3 people in the front. You know, it's even ungodly that there's one seat meant for one person to sit, and that the person by right has the opportunity of getting seated on a seat, and then going to whichever destination they are going.
And some sit on top of the vehicle.
Yes,
I hope you have seen that.
And then now a driver will ask you that you should share one person's seat, you know, with another person, and then a Nigerian will agree to that. So I also tell the passengers, don't allow anybody to ask you to sit on one seat, 2 of you, and then he comes to collect money times 2 instead of collecting money just once. And they tell you that, okay, the situation is difficult, blah, blah. But I keep asking, every time there's an increase in a fuel pump, the transport fare increases. So what is it for? So why must you overload? So just the other day, we had to block Kenya Road because we had to do it. And just that day alone, we arrested 64 people for carrying overloads, especially those people that are turning Nigerians into goods. So, and we also appeal to Nigerians, please. Somebody is asking you that you should sit like chickens in a vehicle, and you agree. The other day, livestock. The other day we were at traffic control junction, and then I stopped the vehicle. You know, they were just waiting for their turn to move, and then they were 3 in the front. I had to ask the other person, calm down. But why do you think? Why did you have to do this? He said, "I will like and so shamelessly." So you see, Nigerians are also not, you know, trying to help in this thing, because if all Nigerians would say, "Okay, no, I don't agree to this," because by law, it's a contractual agreement. I've given you 10 naira, you're going to take me from point A to point B, so it's a contract. So why are you making me uncomfortable? Some even long-distance drivers carry overload. Why will Nigerians allow themselves to be so loaded? You know, so this, you know, road safety is everybody's business, just like policing is everybody's business, because we cannot be there all other times. And then sometimes I tell you, on a freeway, you see people with those kind of infractions. Arresting them is even hellish. Sometimes it's even dangerous, because some of them will do everything within their power, even maybe crash the vehicle and say, okay, road safety have come again. They have crashed the vehicle, and so on and so forth. And then you see even Nigerians, instead of saying, no, why did you do that? They are abusing you. So we want the cooperation of everybody. You talked about bribery the other time. Who gives the bribe? Let me ask, who gives the bribe? The same Nigerians, some of them will even offer to give you money before you get there. It's very unfair, you know, and it pains my heart. And each fora we go to, we tell people, please don't give these people money. So why are you tempting them? And then you come to say, okay, now they collaborate. So people deserve the kind of police or road safety or security agencies, they get. Because sometimes the society will not even help you to achieve the goal for which we are talking about. If everybody, if the vehicles that are meant for carrying, say, 4 or 5 people, and 4 or 5 people are carrying that vehicle, it's to the comfort of the driver, it's the comfort of the passenger. And then because driving is a function of the driver being comfortable, in case of an emergency, he can be able to control the vehicle. I have seen instances where somebody carried another passenger and kept where the driver is supposed to be sitting. And then in between those 3 people, he was busy struggling with the steering. Those kind of people, how do you treat them when you see them? I get angry at those kind of actions. And then Nigerians allow themselves to be so loaded like that. So I want Nigerians to also join hands with us to ensure that we create a safer motoring environment. You can take a horse to the river, but you can't force them to drink. So we also appeal at every forum we find ourselves talking. We appeal to Nigerians. Please, there are certain things you have no business get yourself involved in. You don't have to offer money. If one says, okay, now you have committed offense, allow yourself to be booked. And so you go pay to go to the government coffers. And because we are always in a hurry, we are the most, very impatient people on earth. You can see how impatient we are sometimes if you get to a traffic junction and then you are waiting for your turn to move. Maybe there are 10 vehicles behind you. Do you know the moment it turns amber, the 10th person will be honking their horn. In civilized countries, you don't even hear anybody honking horn at anybody because it's an insult. But what do you find here? In fact, some of the horns are even irritating. I find people just honking their horn, at people because we are so impatient. Or that, okay, there's a small traffic hold up, in the next 3-4 minutes, we're all going to move. What do you see? Before you know it, 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes. And then you are also going to access the same road at the top. And then what do you find? You find gridlock. And that is what is costing all of this. So we want Nigerians also to imbibe patience, on the highways. When we all take our turns, no matter how bad the traffic situation is, all of us are going to move at the end of the day. Nobody's going to sleep on the road.
Okay, thank you. The horn thing reminded me of a piece I read some years ago. For us in Nigeria, the horn means a lot of things. When you see someone you horn. When you see somebody, it means a lot of things. And so it's not honking, it's not just honking the horn behind. I agree with you. I agree with you. In Nigeria, it means so many things to so many people. But let me get to Suleiman. I'd like to know how you are managing your drivers, particularly this season. It should be an everyday thing, and that is with regards to their conduct on the roads. How they should get on the roads, how they should drive, how they should prepare. Do they prepare by taking things that gets them a bit unstable and all the likes? How do you check all of this to ensure that we don't have accidents on the roads and create more work for the FRSC?
Yeah. In fact, during yellow tape systems like this, we used to sensitize our members, more especially those that are not on long journey route.
Yeah.
But because of the season, you see some of them that are applying town service or intra city route. They would like to travel for long distance. So we used to sensitize them and make sure that their vehicle are roadworthy. They themselves, at least reminded about the traffic rules and regulations. This we do with collaboration with Federal Road Safety sometimes. So that is what we usually do. And also issue of overloading and drug or taking alcohol. In fact, we are in collaboration with the local government who owns the park. And more especially in Abuja here, like the Transport Secretariat. Selling of alcohol is automatically banned in the park. So any driver that load from the park and you notice that he is drunk, he didn't take that drugs or alcohol within the park. Yes.
So where did he get it? Because I don't think anybody will stop along the way. When you are carrying passengers, you stop and then get it.
Yes, sometimes they do stop. More especially those that are taking Indian hip. They will stop as if they are going to urinate. You see them taking it. And when we get report of that type of people, that's the way we discipline them. We will tie their number. Some for a week, some for 2 weeks, even up to 3 months.
What does that mean exactly when you say tie?
You cannot allow to load to anywhere. Your vehicle cannot load, and you too cannot even drive any other's vehicle.
Within the period?
Yes.
Yes, sanctioned.
So, and in fact, that is paying.
But talking about pain, the drivers themselves are also saying that the NURTW is putting them through so much pain as regards the multiple levies they are being charged. And looking at the current state of the economy, you know, a driver wants to go out and make money, but it looks like they are working for the NURTW because at the end of the day, they give all that they make in payment of levies.
And it impacts the cost.
In fact, it's not true. And where you find those complaints, is mostly within the town service. And within this town service, there are many places that those people that are demanding this money are not members, officials of the union. Take, for instance, like what is happening within Area 1, Area 3. Most of them are not members of the national union. And even we have more than 2 to 3 organizations. We have NATO, we have Return, we have NURTW. And there are other organizations. But because we are more popular, we are, most people know anything that happens within the park, they say NURTW, which is not like that.
Now, how do you also deal with, because I've seen cases of so-called unionists who will distract drivers who are going somewhere and flag them. You could say, oh, Area 1, and the moment the driver stops, others will pounce, struggling with the steering, struggling with the keys and all that. How do you condone this kind of behavior?
Yes, what we normally do is when we get that type of complaint, if it is our member, like I said, we discipline them. If it is not our member, we ask the person to report to the police so that they can be charged. And even if it is our member, there are certain things that we cannot even handle it. We have to refer it to the police. Any moment we see any little criminal aspect of the issue, we handed it to the police.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's get back to the police now, since you're handling so many things, including, you know, the cases that the NURTW has. But because of time, we're about to round off. I'd like to find out how prepared really is the Nigerian police, I mean, across the country, not just the FCT, you know, for this season. Because, you know, Christmas, some few days away, we have the New Year celebration. And how would you want to assure Nigerians, you know, to go about their activities, if you like, their celebration this season? Should they sleep with one of their eye closed, or they can sleep with both closed this period?
Policing or security system is a process, and you need to take note of certain things if at all you want to be safe. You say to be safe is to feel unsafe. We always know that this period we have influx of people coming into Nigeria and moving from one point to another, from state to state, community to community. When you see strange faces and unusual faces, you need to ask questions. Let me say this on this program, that Nigerians don't know that they have powers of arrest. You don't wait for police or road safety to arrest. Section 12 of the Criminal Procedure Act empowers every Nigerian to effect arrests.
How?
But don't touch it. Yes, it's a matter of law. It's not I'm appealing to it. The law empowers you to arrest. That if you notice anybody is committing an offense or about to commit an offense, arrest and hand over to the police. Or don't take it to your house. Or don't say you want to go and beat. Or don't take laws to your hand. Criminal Procedure Act Section 12. Go and read it. It has empowered you to arrest.
It's a recipe for disaster, because I want to arrest Yenre, and she's also arresting me because we both have the same powers.
Well, you must apply.
We have the same powers.
You must apply discretion there. If you know the person is going to injure you, you can make a call. But if you know you can overpower the person with your colleagues around, we need to come together to pick this arrest. But now that we are thinking of moving towards digital method of policing, we're embracing electronic policing, initiative for the Inspector General of Police. We want Nigerians to always key to all these new innovations.
Okay.
Don't let us be digital analog about our ways. We don't want to move with time. We don't want to be global with time. Nigerians should know that we are going to tilt from this analog to digital. There are so many things that have been introduced, and every Nigerian will tell me, you don't concern me, you didn't concern me with this. We need to be electronically inclined for us to police Nigeria. Personnel may not be enough. Even if they are recruiting 1 million per year, it might not be enough because of the vast nature of this country. The IGP has introduced some applications, and which I want Nigerians to always download on their phones. The Rescue Me application is there. Just go to any Android or whatever you have. You are lucky to have it anyway. Like the URT said, how many people have Android? But on average, I'm sure almost 80-90% Nigerians will have Android because it's very cheap now. We can afford it, except we don't want it. But you get this and download some of it. They are very, very useful. The Rescue Me Hub is very, very good at when you just download that. No, just normal data you are going to use. No special whatever. Just click on it. It's going to tell you. If it is rape case, you see the things there. If it is rape, it is armed robbery, just click it and you will see men that will come around. We have geoposition Nigeria on the system at Lucedet House, headquarters. Command and Control Center of the police covers the whole country. So the Rescue Me Hub is very, very good. I told them, like the attack on the train in Regina the other time, if somebody in that train had that app, it could not be so bad like that. So we want to encourage Nigerians to embrace some of these applications. They were moving towards controlling vehicle-related offenses. You agree with me that almost 60% of Nigerian vehicles plying our roads are not registered. We need to imbibe the control. How will you drive a vehicle that is not registered? Some that are registered their vehicles, they cover their number plates. For goodness sake, we are serious about curbing vehicle-related crimes and offenses in Nigeria. It is very, very critical. There is no organized crime that is carried out without the use of a vehicle or motorbike or tricycle. The police ECMR system is working with road safety, the custom that every Nigerian that is driving or the vehicle you use must be on a database. You tend to know if you don't have a number of vehicle, that spirit will come on you that if I knock and down, who go carry me? I don't get number now. If I do this, I break traffic lights, you go carry me. After I no get number or I use fake number. We need to take it serious. And that is why the CMR system or the police is coming on board. Apart from curbing these vehicle-related offenses, for CMR system, if you report anything, stolen vehicle, or report CMR at npa.gov.ng, it is very, very important that this thing will help you to trace your vehicle. The application is going to be launched by the IGP very soon. We're going to have the tab given to our men at various points for enforcement. If you don't have it, people are saying they're going to charge them. You charge for services. Even if you know the amount of money some of your banks charge you, it's because you don't care. If you know it's much. So if a service is coming up and they want you to do some charges, don't complain, please. Let us embrace some of these things. It's going to help us. At a point there, you are going to detect a vehicle that is stolen, just with the application on you at that road. We want to move from all just seeing policemen flagging you down, scrutinizing papers, delaying you. The application is going to be launched this January. And of course, the idea is to make sure that all Nigerians know. I want to tell them now. And we are going back to Operation Velvet. We are going to work with them. In the olden days, Operation Velvet is that operation that when you have a team will come out at once. Yes. After we have made an announcement, expiration of 14 days, we are going to tell you, go and perfect your papers. If you don't have your papers, don't have a vehicles, registration documents, everything, you are going to be sanctioned immediately. A mobile court is standing by. So we are working with the state government, the road safety, and all other traffic management agencies, whether federal or state-owned across the country, they are going to be involved. The IGP has made a directive, and we have told the officers on the field that this is how we're going to do it. So Nigerians should know, we are going back to all those systems. We are very serious about controlling these vehicle-related offenses. There are so many, even the so-called one chance we are saying. A registered vehicle will not try to do one chance, because he knows that with that number plate alone, we put it on the database, we are going to get it. And Nigerians should help us to know. Those who do fake numbers, we arrest them, but there are many. You don't live on crime, you don't thrive on crime because you want to make ends meet. It is another criminal offense to do that. So we should know that whatever I want to do, we should be legal about it. We should do legitimate things to make ends meet if at all you want to do our business. All our portals are there for them to complain. With Google now, you can get any information. It's very easy for us. So please, Nigerians should know, we are going back to old tradition. We need to discomfort ourselves for us to move ahead.
All right.
Don't do things that will continue to make us to live in impunity, to commit crimes, and we think it's a normal thing we do. Traffic lights, nobody wants to wait. Like Oga said, nobody wants to wait.
ACP Olumuyiwa Adejobi, thank you very much for your time on the program. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Chori Mukhtar, right? Sector Commander, FCT Federal Road Safety Corps. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, and I appreciate it.
And Suleiman Abdul Kadri Musa, Acting General Secretary, National Union of Road Transport Workers, here in Abuja. Thank you very much for coming.
Much, sir. Thank you so much.
Let's take a break, and the program continues afterwards.
All right, welcome back. It's still Good Morning Nigeria, live on the network service of the NTA. We'll get into our second conversation now. Victor, I hear that there's a new entrant into the world of air fresheners in the country.
Well, Dr. Scent, they call it. And ahead of the product launch tomorrow, we have been joined from our Lagos studio by Emmanuel Alozie Okoli. He is Chief Executive Officer of the Scent Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Nigeria, Mr. Okoli. Welcome to Good Morning Nigeria. Welcome to Good Morning Nigeria.
We're having a challenge with the audio of Mr. Okoli there, but of course we're going to fix that because we really need to know all about Dr. Scent.
When you hear scent, what comes to mind?
It means something that smells well. Something that is good will probably change the atmosphere. And for Dr. Scent,
air fresheners, diffusers,
of course,
the likes of them.
But for this Dr. Scent, I think it's just air fresheners that they're talking about. But you see, one question about air fresheners that a lot of people have always asked is what kind of chemicals are used for air fresheners?
Absolutely,
because
some may not be too healthy. I'm sure he will tell us about what they have done in this regard.
Exactly, and then also we want to find out if Dr. Scent is being manufactured in the country.
Absolutely.
Yes, if it's an imported product.
Is it manufactured elsewhere and then brought in? How much of the content is home-based?
Very true. When we talk about air fresheners, really, outside, the scents that we're talking about that are in the market, I think we have a role to play in how our environment smells, first and foremost. So if you do not have a neat environment first, and then you now put an air freshener in it, just so that, or in the bid to impress your guests.
Absolutely.
Some people do that in a bid to impress your guests, but the whole place is filthy. I think that you're just complicating the issue, and you still have a lot of issues.
It will do better in an environment that is clean
with fresh air, first and foremost.
And because you need that ventilation to even make it, work better to make the impact of it felt much more.
Very true. So, and of course, this festive period, a lot of people are doing so much, trying to prepare for Christmas, buying all the Bibles, and some places. By the way, talking about some places that may not be so nice or smelling nice this period will be abattoirs.
Absolutely.
Because of the number of animals they have to slaughter and how they do not really clean the place and all of that. It's really a big challenge that should be checked. But talking about homes and air fresheners and business places, offices, and then shops, malls, that use air fresheners, I'm sure they want to wait for this conversation to know what Dr. Scent is offering in the market. But for now, we'll take foreign news, and then when we come back, we'll get into the conversation with Mr. Okoli on the new fragrance.
Elections in the Democratic Republic of Congo drew to a close Thursday evening after a second day of voting necessitated by logistical problems that had prevented some polling stations from opening the previous day. As people in some parts of the country finally began voting, ballot counting was already underway elsewhere, with the first results expected this Friday. The mineral-rich Central African nation held 4 concurrent elections on Wednesday to pick a president, national and regional lawmakers, as well as local councillors. President Felix Tshisekedi, 60, was running for a second term in office against a backdrop of years of economic growth, but little job creation and soaring inflation. Wednesday's voting was marked by massive delays nationwide as the Electoral Commission struggled to deliver materials to voting stations long after polls were meant to have opened. In another news, a 24-year-old student killed 14 people and wounded 25 at a Prague university on Thursday in the Czech Republic's worst shooting in decades before authorities said the attacker was eliminated. The deadly violence in the city's historic center sparked evacuations, a massive response by heavily armed police, and warnings for people to stay indoors. The shooting erupted at the Charles University's Faculty of Arts, which sits near major tourist sites like the 14th century Charles Bridge. Police Chief Martin Vondrasek confirmed the number of casualties to reporters after the shooting. He said all the victims were gunned down inside the building, adding that some were the gunman's fellow students. Vondrasek added the gunman, previously unknown to the police, had a huge arsenal of weapons and ammunition, and that quick police action prevented far more serious carnage.
All right, many thanks for the foreign news there and the updates. So I'm sure.
Is
do we
Mr.
have
Okoli ready? Do we have him ready? It doesn't seem to be ready. But I'm curious, as I'm sure viewer is curious to know more about this Dr. Scent. What's in the pack? Is it a range of products? Is it a single product that is newly entering the market, entering the range? Or is it a wide range that has been introduced?
Only Mr. Okoli would have answers to that, and talking about answers, we have one of our correspondents, Oyemi, who is on the field at the moment. We hope we can, join him in the course of this program, so that we can, get to know what exactly is happening
at the park.
At the parks, what's happening at the parks, as regards to 50%. But if we cannot get to AME right now on Good Morning Nigeria, of course, in the course of the day during our programs and other news bulletins, we'll get to know exactly what's happening at the parks. All right, so
so we're able to. You can see that Dr. Scent seems to have a number of products in the range. But what I'm curious about is whether it is all of the products in the range that are being launched tomorrow, or it is one that is coming in to join the others that have been existing. That is what is not precisely clear, and which we would expect Mr. Okoli to talk about. I can see diffuser, I can see air freshener. I can see some others that I may not be able to immediately identify, but you never know.
Honestly, like I already mentioned, Mr. Okoli will be the best bet to get all the answers about this product. But unfortunately, it looks like the challenge is taking too long to get fixed.
Yeah.
We hope that we can speak with Mr. Okoli through
and I
other
see
means.
a little bit of the UAE presence. I see a little bit of the UAE presence in all of this, which means that the okay, Mr. Cole is ready, so he'll be able to tell us what is happening. Okay, Mr. Cole, good to have you finally. If you can hear me, tell us about Dr. Scent.
Okay, Dr. Scent is a Dubai owned product from UAE. My name is Emmanuel Alozo Koli. I'm actually representing Dr. Scent in Nigeria. I'm the franchise owner for the product. And we're into aromatherapies, fabric sprays, diffusers, and air fresheners. And yeah, you mentioned about our launch in Lagos. Yeah, we are opening a new branch here in Lagos because we're already stationed in Abuja already. And we've done so well in Abuja so far. For the past 1 year, one year that we've registered these products here. And our mission is to establish and go into various commercial business, hotels, homes, and everything that we can reach out to here in Nigeria. Because Dr. Scent is one of the biggest diffuser branch and air freshener branch in the world. We have this company in all over 38 countries, and last year we are part of the Qatar 2022 World Cup, sponsored by our Dr. Scent Qatar. So we have this country, this diffuser company in over 38 countries. Yeah. So we just started Nigerian branch last year, and we've done so well for ourselves. I'm opening our Lagos branch tomorrow, and Port Harcourt branch also.
What are you launching a single new product, or you are launching a range of products, or is it just the opening of a new outlet in Lagos?
We are opening a new outlet in Lagos. Already we are stationed already in Abuja. Start operating in Abuja since last year. We're opening a new branch in Lagos tomorrow.
Easily reach to have a feel of Dr. Scent's products. So, Koli, I'm trying to find out where your outlet in Abuja is.
Outlet is in the Ademra Tokumbo in Wusetu.
Much. Could you also tell us where you're located in Lagos as well as Port Harcourt? And then, of course, I have concerns, and some Nigerians watching would have concerns. Are you sure these products, are safe in terms of the chemical being used in the formulation? Because we know that some chemicals are used for, air fresheners and perfumes and all of that. Could be harmful over time. So have you checked? Because we can see that it's a foreign product. You're just importing and selling here. So let us know how safe it is for us.
It's 100% safe because in Dubai, some of the medical field, like some hospital, they use the product too. So we have the certificate for safety on that regarding that aspect, and Yeah, it's safe to use. It's not harmful, so it can be used since it can be used in the hospital and private home. So we have the certificate for it. So also, and our office in Lagos is at Lekki Phase 1 off Admiralty Way. Yeah.
An idea of the production or the product. Where is this produced? Is it one we can take credit for? Talking about being produced in Nigeria, or is it something you produce elsewhere and import into the country?
Is imported through into the country because it's a Dubai home company. The main company is in Dubai, so we do imports from Dubai. So the oils are produced in Dubai, and so we import it from Dubai.
I'm tempted to ask you the prices, of the range of products that you have. Would it be affordable for Nigerians?
For the ordinary Nigerian.
Try as much as we can to make it affordable to every Nigerian, but it's also a luxury product to say that, because we have our products ranging prices from 500 and something thousand to 20,000. It depends on the product. We have the fabric spray, we have the car scent, we have the diffuser machines, we have the mini machines. So it's a lot, and we hope to spread it to every single Nigerians and every home and commercial businesses.
Right, and what does this? What is the unique feature of this range of products that you have at Dr. Scent? Something that could make it even more sellable in spite of the price that makes it luxurious anyway. Makes it.
Yeah, we're exceptional product. Our product is is the best, not one of the best. It's the best in the world, not only in Nigeria. So we have a lot of amazing fragrances that you can never imagine, that is going to blow your mind when you smell it. So, for us to be #1 company in Dubai, that means we are actually so good. And we have a lot of fragrances, about 64 kind of it. And yeah.
All right, many thanks, Mr. Okoli, for your response to our questions so far. But another question that would want to come up at this point would be that aside importing these, the scents, is there anything that you're using locally in this country? Say maybe the packaging, or something, in the whole
parts of the continent.
Yes, that you're sourcing from Nigeria, just so that we can also boost our economy
and take credit for it.
Yeah, like I said, the product is being imported, like the oils and the diffuser, definitely. Yeah, but we still have things we use locally. Like our bags have been produced in Nigeria and everything. So our invoices, our books and everything. So. But the diffusers themselves have been produced in Dubai. But we have, we're hoping on when we expanded the market, we can bring the company down to Nigeria in future.
Now, for those who may not understand, Mr. Okoli, what are diffusers used for?
Okay, diffusers are the machine that dispenses the oils. So meaning our diffusers, when you put it on, and it's a smart machine, so you can use your phone, it's mobile operated. You can use your phone to operate the diffusers, to set the timers you want and everything. So we have diffusers at different sizes, different capacity and different coverage. You understand? So the oils are being put into the diffusers why the diffuser dispenses the fragrances to the environment or where it's being plugged to.
Okay, you are launching this product in Abuja tomorrow, in Lagos tomorrow. You said you already have an outlet right here in Abuja. Who are you expecting? And then why did you choose this period, for this product launch in
Perhaps
Lagos?
It's a Christmas gift.
I just want to find out. Who are you expecting for the launch, really, Mr. Okoli?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So, we wanted to use this as a Christmas gift for our customers, our good customers in Lagos, because already we have a lot of customers already in Lagos, even without being in Lagos. So we feel that the best time to issue this gift to our customers is on this time, which is tomorrow. And because we're also offering like a 10% discount to every purchase to all the customer that's going to walk in tomorrow for our launch tomorrow. So is a part of Christmas gift, and we have some other amazing gift that I can't unveil on the live television right now that we're trying to give to our customer, the ones that's going to visit for our launching tomorrow. So like.
All right, Mr. Okoli, I actually wish I was in Lagos so, I could be part of the launch and benefit from the freebies that you'll be giving out. But, from the price range that you have given us, this, like you already said, is a luxury brand. I'm wondering, why are you thinking luxury? Is it that the average Nigerian do not patronize, scents, or, looking at the fact that we have more Nigerians who are not so wealthy? So why this cost for this product?
Thank you. So the cost is because of the quality of the product. Like I said, we are number one in diffuser game and air freshening game in the world. So it's because of the quality and the oil, and it's fully oil based. There's no water mixture on it, and the oils are very smooth. You can feel the luxury when you smell the few oils that we have. So yeah, it's a luxury product because, and where we have it to in Dubai is almost like everywhere. In Dubai Mall, Address, Amani, Radisson Blue. There's a lot of places I can mention. Dubai Police. So like it's a lot. And it's the quality of and the finishing of the product makes it why we tag it as luxury. You understand? So yeah, an average Nigerian can purchase it because we have a product of 20,000 now too. So I believe an average Nigerian can buy a product of 20,000 naira, and we try to make it affordable as much as we can to every Nigerian.
All right. Mr. Emmanuel, just before we let you go, Emmanuel, give us a quick sense of what the launch will look like tomorrow. Are we expecting any performances, any performers, any entertainers? Who are what is the caliber of people that you're expecting there tomorrow?
Because it's the Christmas period, and you know how busy it can be for everyone in Nigeria. We're expecting few guests, like we'll have the DJ, one of our best customers, and also DJ Consequence is going to be playing tomorrow. And we have one of our best performer in the Nigerian, The Voice Nigerian, Mr. David Opera. It's going to also be performing, and we have some amazing quality, important people in the society that's going to be, at the launching tomorrow. And there's a lot, so I can't mention, but there's a lot. It's going to be a blast tomorrow.
Of course, we can feel that it would be a blast. Of course, we want the scent. We want to, have it too. And just to let you know that my producer is interested in, participating in your launch tomorrow. So don't be surprised if you see her, take a flight to Lagos tomorrow, just so she can participate. Many thanks, Mr. Okoli. We wish you the very best in the launch, and of course, we wish the product, the very best in the market, not just in Abuja, in Lagos, and Port Harcourt. And we hope that in the coming months we'll have you again on GMN to talk about the launch in other parts of the country. All right, so that's Good Morning Nigeria today, the very last before Christmas. Christmas is Monday. Victor, what are your plans?
I don't know. I think I'll be here. You know, that's the job.
You don't have plans today?
That's
like 2
the
days
job.
to Christmas?
For Christmas,
Anyways.
no plans.
I'm Henry John. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, and I'm Victor. So have a great weekend and see you at the Christmas edition.